Hi, I'm Beck. I'm a psychologist and I'm talking today about changing patterns. So, if you have noticed a pattern, perhaps a behavioral pattern that you would like to change, perhaps it's a way of relating to people, perhaps it's a relationship style that keeps showing up in your life, a pattern and that you would like to break, perhaps it's a toxic dynamic that you keep repeating. The most important part of this process that people don't talk about enough or acknowledge enough is the grieving process that comes right as you bring that pattern into full consciousness. So you get to the point where when you recognize why you engaged in those behaviors that were toxic or detrimental or self-sabotaging, whatever name you want to give them, protective, in the end, they're all protective strategies, even as dysfunctional as they might seem, they are protecting you from the grief that you're about to feel. And maybe you've already discovered that grief as you drop those patterns and you grieve for what you believe to be true that is not true about you, about other people, about your need to show up in a certain way in relationships to keep yourself safe. That you would grieve that you believed yourself to be anything other than who you are, or safe or worthy or okay, just okay as you are. When you recognize that perhaps you have believed things opposite to that, that you have to be perfect, or you have to give and give and give, or you have to put yourself last, or I don't know what it is that you've believed that have fueled patterns that turn out to be detrimental to you. But as you drop those patterns, the only way we drop patterns is bringing them into consciousness. So you're not getting out of this without this process. And the process goes, you bring them into consciousness by watching the pattern closely enough from an observer part of you that you start to be able to recognize the thoughts that are fueling the patterns. Then when you've brought the thoughts into consciousness, that's when you grieve. You didn't realize the pain that some of those beliefs hold over you, hold in you, the room they take up in your body, even to grieve how much real estate they've got inside you. There's grief. Yep. And what you'll learn is that grief is actually self-compassion. And that's such a freeing thing to learn, because suddenly grief isn't so scary. It actually feels sort of good. It's like pressing a bruise. We realize what we were so scared of and all the protective mechanisms we put in place to avoid feeling that were keeping us away from a feeling that actually is so cathartic, so opening, so heart opening, that self-compassion that feels like grief. Then the pattern's broken and then you're free.